ever since I was out of power 14 months, 15 months ago. What was hoped by the establishment which removed me, what they hoped was that the party would just fizzle away. And normally it happens when you're out of power for quite a while. But instead what happened, the most unusual thing in this country, that the party's popularity kept growing. And then in the by-elections that took place, out of 37 by-elections, my party swept 30 of them. And this is despite the establishment backing the government parties. So since then, the attempts are being made to knock me out of the game. I had 2 assassination attempts on me. And apart from that, now I have close to my double century, almost 200 cases. And the whole attempt is to either imprison me or disqualify me, or both. जब तक ये पैगाम आप तक पहुंचेगा, मुझे ये अरेस्ट कर चुके होंगे और मैं जेल में होऊंगा। तो मेरी आपसे सिर्फ एक ही रिक्वेस्ट है, अपील है कि आपने घरों में चुप करके नहीं बैठना। मैं ये जो जद्दोजहद कर रहा हूं, ये अपनी ज़ात के लिए नहीं कर रहा, ये अपनी कौम के लिए कर रहा हूं, आपके लिए कर रहा हूं, आपके बच्चों के मुस्तकबिल के लिए कर रहा हूं। अगर आप अपने हुकूक के लिए नहीं खड़े होंगे, आप गुलामों की जिंदगी गुजारेंगे। Well, you forgot to mention there are about 60 or 70 terrorism cases against me. So all my time is spent from going from one court to another courtroom. I have made in 2 months over 350 court appearances, and my legal team is busy fending off one case after the other. But the thing is, nothing sticks because these are frivolous, bogus cases. And what now they are planning to do is to have military courts. And this is right now in the Supreme Court, whether the courts will allow military courts or not. And the objective of the military court is that there I certainly will be sentenced. Absolutely nothing. Look, someone till the age of 70 never had one criminal case against him. In the last few months, how can you have 200 criminal cases? And here's someone who this country knows for 50 years. You know, I'm not someone who this country doesn't know, not just as a cricketer, as someone who has done the biggest charitable projects in our history, who people give more money than anyone in our histories, who trust with their money. So people don't believe this. Let me answer this question because it's very important. What happened on the 9th of May? On the 9th of May, I'm sitting in the precincts of the Islamabad High Court. I'm on bail of these many cases, so there was no case on me. I get attacked by the commandos, not by police, by commandos. There are visuals which have gone all over the world. I was attacked, my guards were beaten up, and I was abducted from there, confirmed by the Supreme Court, unlawful and unconstitutional. So what did you think the supporters would do? When they saw the army, the commandos picking me up from there, was there not going to be a protest? But remember, when I was shot and 12 of my other people were wounded, one dead. Despite that, there was no burning, there was no arson. There were peaceful protests, but there were protests without any arson. So how come that this is the big question? When they see me being dragged like the head of the biggest party, abducted, there was going to be a reaction. Now, point is, were we involved in the arson? Arson only took place in 4 buildings.
Okay.
They put 10,000 of our workers in jail. Now, you've got to listen to this. This is very important. This was all pre-planned. The way the police could have picked me up. Why did they need commandos to pick me up and beat everyone up? Because they wanted a reaction. And there was, but the reaction was peaceful, as it's always been. If my party doesn't exist, why don't they announce elections? Why did they run away from the elections stipulated by the Constitution, announced by the Supreme Court on the 9th of May in 60% of Pakistan versus Punjab? They ran away from the elections. Now they're trying to run away from the elections in October. So if my party is finished, they shouldn't be worried. The problem is the party is intact. They have tried everything. They have put 10,000 of people in jail, including women, never done before, peaceful protesters. And worse, they have put people through torture. We've faced custodial torture. It's never happened in the history of this country. And under pressure, some people have left. But the vast majority of people are in hiding today in Pakistan. All my senior leadership, which is not arrested, few of them have defected. The rest are in hiding. My workers are in hiding. I am the only one with 1 or 2 other guys who are not in hiding, but we are more or less house arrested. The fact that the country is on the brink of a major disaster is true. We really are heading what I feel are the dark ages, because we basically have an undeclared martial law in Pakistan. I mean, the country evolved towards a democratic process over last 20 years. And suddenly there's no media which is free, and the judiciary, they're trying to control that. So we are heading in the dark ages. But what is the answer? Is the answer to shake hands with people who've been robbing this country for 30 years? I came into politics because the 2 families had destroyed our country economically. I came in because I wanted to bring the powerful under the rule of law, which is why my party was called Movement for Justice, Rule of Law. And now, am I supposed to join the same people who are responsible for destroying the rule of law in this country, who are above law, so that I again, what for? To come into power? I'd rather not come into power. Look, the only solution to Pakistan, and any sensible person in this country will confirm this, the only solution, there is no other solution. Free and fair elections. That's the only way we will get out of this mess. What is happening is that in order to keep me out, they are dismantling our democracy. And what you're seeing in the rise in terrorism, the whole province of KP, Pakhtunkhwa, which is on the border of Afghanistan, why was there no terrorism when we were in power for 3.5 years? Why is it suddenly the terrorism is going up? Because they are no longer represented. The government in Pakhtunkhwa, where the terrorism has started, and in Balochistan, there has been a caretaker government which is not representative of Pakistan, doesn't belong to the people, and that's going there for 8 months. It's illegal. It's unconstitutional. So the answer is free and fair elections. Let the people select their own representatives and then let them sort out the problems of Pakistan. We as a representative government had brought down terrorism in Pakistan. What you're saying is that we should accept slavery and not have freedom. Democracy means freedom. So what you're basically telling me is that in order to accept this fascist government, which is destroying our civil liberties by the day, they're about to pass a bill, just so that you know what we are facing right now. They're passing a bill which is called Prevention of Extreme Violence. The intelligence agencies can break into anyone's house without an arrest warrant. They can pick anyone up. They can try people in military courts without access to justice. This is what we are facing now. Unfortunately, the country has been taken over by fascists and they are petrified of elections. Reason why I'm suffering is because they know that elections we would win, hands down. And because of that, they are not only dismantling our democracy, it means we should accept that we don't have any freedom. What will save Pakistan are free and fair elections, because that will give it political stability, a government backed by a public mandate. If it comes in for 5 years, will give us political stability, and that will then give us economic stability. At the moment, there is no political stability and the economy is just tanked. And this terrorism is an offshoot. When there's no representation of people, when they are being ruled by a center which has no idea how to deal with things as things deteriorate. So look, what you're basically saying is that I should just leave these guys alone and, you know, look after myself. So it's easy for me. All I have to say is that, look, I'm going for a holiday to London to see my boys, and life is easy for me. But look, I mean, I am the first generation of Pakistanis which grew in an independent country. My parents grew up in colonial India. So we value our freedom.